Good morning, party people. A couple of months ago, Joseph and I started learning Clickteam Fusion. We made a game. Very little progress was made today at Castle Gamejam, even though we're both not programmers. And then a couple of weeks ago at Ludum Dare, we made another game. We've been having this idea about a co-op game where one player has a shield and the other one has a sword, and you kind of have to work together to do stuff. So we said, let's do a one-day mini game jam and try to get that concept tested. If you are wondering why I'm wearing this fancy cat hat, that's because I didn't wash my hair. For this game, we decided to use some old graphics that I had done 3 years ago. And the first thing I realized when implementing them is that their size is really weird. So why, asked me, why did you do this? I scaled all of them down to 96 by 96 pixels, and because I didn't really want to spend a lot of time cleaning them up and resizing them, the pixels are super uneven and weird and yeah, since I try not to care about graphics in this jam, I'll just have to be okay with it. Also, 3 years ago I was amazing at animation. I think these are the first pixel animations I ever did. So it's been 1 hour since we started, and the only thing I've done so far is make the characters, import all the sprites, import all the animations, create a collision box for each of them, and create a collider for each of them. Nothing has properties, everything just exists. And after lunch I have to figure out how to separate both of the characters, because right now, let me show you. Right now they're attached together, so if I press the movement keys, both of them are gonna move at the same time. And I don't want that. We're 2.5 hours in. Okay, a little update. So far we have both of the characters, we have a camera. The camera stays between the two characters. You can still walk off screen. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to fixing that. We have implemented dashing. We still need to limit that so you can't dash around all the time. As soon as Joseph gives the second character the dash, then we're gonna merge and see if you can dash against walls and if all of that works. Merging for us is still very tricky because we don't have any version control, so we always have to send the project back and forth and hope that there's no bugs. So it's about, I think, 4, 5 or 6 hours from when we started, and we haven't made a lot of progress. We wanted to have a new state for the tanks, so he can like hold his shield and block, and when he's doing that he can't dash and he can't move. And then we realized that we've never done states before. So with the dash, it only goes into a temporary dash and then it goes back to the normal movement. But the problem we had with the blocking is, for blocking you have to press a key. So when that key is pressed, the character blocks. But if the key is not pressed, then what does he do? Does he dash or does he not dash? Because I have no idea how to solve this, like from a logic. From a logic, let's go with that. Meanwhile, Joseph is working on some traps. Then the last thing that we want to do is the boss. How's it going? Okay, so the idea with the states didn't work at all. Now the program is just firing all 3 states at once, which it shouldn't do. Joseph also ran into some issues where apparently he did a path movement and the path has nodes and he can name one node but not the other one. So yeah, frustrating roadblocks. So now we're gonna cook some dinner. So I have 2 solutions right now. So before I was thinking of
the 3 states, walking, blocking and dashing, as 3 states. But in reality what I have is you either walk or you block and you don't.
So after hours we finally found the solution. It's not having multiple states but just having one state and then spawning a shield and setting the speed, the movement speed to 0. Hours of work. I think we were working around 8 hours on the game. The movement, the blocking, the attack for the mage, all the obstacles, all the colliders, the hitboxes, collision, like all of that is finished now. We don't have to touch it again, it works. So yeah, we were both pretty bummed out when, for Joseph, he tried some puzzle elements and those didn't work out, and I was stuck with movement that didn't work out. So now in the evening when we finally got this other thing working, that was a really nice moment. So this whole game jam is gonna be 2 days. So tomorrow the plan is to expand on those puzzle elements. We definitely want to add a boss that you can fight, just like a slime boss that bounces around that you have to push into a spike and then shoot. Yeah. And I hope after these 2 days we'll have a very nice prototype, and then maybe if you guys are interested I can show you how I go about artifying games like that, because I haven't done a single art asset for this whole game jam. I've just used tile sets and sprites that I've had before. And yeah, if you're curious, I can show you. So yeah, see you tomorrow! 2 of our mini jam, and it didn't start out well. We completely forgot that this weekend Spell Collective is moving. There's people running around, disassembling stuff. We also had to pack some stuff, and first thing in the morning when we started up the build from yesterday, we found some bugs with the freaking movement. The fuck weather. Stop draining. Game Jam Day 2. So we didn't jam over the weekend because there was just so much going on at the house. So I took the weekend to merge both projects, and now we can start with finishing the game up. Holy moly, so we've gotten to a point where we can actually talk about how we want the gameplay to be and polish some things, which I never thought we'd get to. I think my plan for this game jam was to just basically get something done, but I think Joseph's making good progress on the boss fight. I'm also making some good progress on the platform thingy, and even though the project looks like shit, you can actually play it together, and we just sat down earlier and played the level that I'm working on, and that's just it's just a really nice feeling, and I actually really want to artify the whole thing to just kind of make it feel better with like animations and everything. So yeah, the plan for today is to get the boss finished, to make some more rooms with like smaller puzzle elements, and give the game an ending. Yeah, it's because they spawn in the spawn zone, but they're also, because they're in the next spawn zone, they're leaving it at the same time, so I just have to move the pivots. Ta-da!
When I release B, we're back to normal movement, ignore the sheet. So normal movement means this, right? Cool, cool. So when I enter the stairs, I want to be slower. It works. Nice. Leave it, normal movement again. So block, I can't move at all, which is what I want. So now I enter the stairs, and I'm blocking. So 2 states. I'm on the stairs, and I'm blocking. Blocking overrides, because you shouldn't move when you block. But when I let go, it says I'm on the stairs, but ignores the initial move slower on stairs thingy. When I leave the stairs again and enter, I'm slower. But when I block and I go again, I'm speeding. Why?
Because you don't save the staircase.
Spawners are working! Mini jam over?
Yeah.
Mini jam over. Alright, so the mini game jam is over. It took us a total of, I think, 14 to 16 hours to get something small up and running, and even though it might not look like much for Joseph and me, that's the 3rd game jam that we did, and the first kind of official prototyping experiment, since we're both not programmers. We've only recently started visual scripting in Clickteam. Yeah, and now that it's done, I kind of want to artify it. Let me know if you'd be interested in that, and I'll make a video showcasing how I would go about artifying, like turning the dummy art into actual art, and yeah, like how to keep the sizes consistent, a bit of pixel art knowledge and stuff, and yeah, let me know. That's it.
Ich muss die Schalter anmachen. Okay. Ah, okay, du bist gerade auf so einem Ding drauf, ne? Also, wir müssen das zu uns herholen. Ja?
So.
Nee, also
So schnell.
ich muss...
Achso, das muss jetzt auch nicht.
Und jetzt haben wir das Problem, nee, das geht so nicht. Also, ich muss quasi darüber.